So recently, I was at Harvard University. I had my sights on interviewing some of the top students in the world at a world-renowned school.
A lot of Harvard students think there's only one way to success. Study econ, intern at one of the Wall Street banks, get a full-time offer, move to New York, do that for the rest of your life.
But it's hard to talk about Harvard University without mentioning its equally as prestigious counterpart just across the river, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. MIT is a school with a drastic contrast in physical landscape, educational specializations, and possibly even student perspectives. Today, I'm off on a mission to search for these differences, tour around a unique campus, and, of course, interview MIT students.
Because it is a tech school, most people are tech oriented.
Let's say back then you chose a different path.
I'm only young once, so I want to live that up.
Some people have taken Tide Pods and stabbed them.
I also pay a lot of money to go to the school.
Nothing really matters.
My future me is gonna thank me so much.
That's a huge.
Alright, so about to get started, just gonna find some students at MIT, and look at this. It's a completely different vibe from Harvard, but something I did realize, I'm definitely gonna need to change this shirt if I want people to talk to me. So let's go take care of that. Alright, we are ready. Let's go talk to some MIT students. So just some general introductions. What year are you in? What's your major? And I guess what school do you go to?
I am a third year undergrad.
Third year, junior?
I'm a junior.
I'm a senior.
I'm a sophomore.
And my major is physics.
Majoring aerospace engineering and political science.
Mechanical engineering master's student.
Electrical engineering and computer science.
And I'm also majoring in electrical engineering and computer science.
Studying environmental engineering.
A senior studying computer science at MIT.
Today is MIT Day. We're here at MIT for the first time. We're actually gonna get a tour because someone that we know, he's a visiting student here, so he's gonna show us around. I'm gonna bring you guys along for the tour, if there's anything cool. And then after that, we're just gonna talk to some cool people. Stay tuned. My first question for you here, what motivates you to work hard? Is there something like that? It's what motivates you, if there is any?
Passion for my field.
I really like what I do. It responds to my existential questions as well.
There aren't many other things I feel like I'd be fulfilled doing 10 or 20 years from now.
I think it's just a general expectation from my family.
My dad is an electrician. I've been seeing him doing all this stuff with electronics, the beginning of it. I think my motivation is also at this point my family, because we moved all the way from Cuba to here. I want to make this whole trip worth it.
Growing up, I've always seen people around me work really hard, starting from my parents, my older brother. So I think I learned from them to really work hard to attain those goals.
For me, it would be my family. I'm actually married.
Oh.
And I have a dog.
Oh.
Yeah, a Chihuahua.
Congrats for both.
Mine's name is Chancho.
Chancho.
Yeah, he's chunky.
I think I have an irrational fear of unstructured free time. When I'm not really busy, I get really antsy and end up doing nothing.
I think I'm just a type of person that likes to do things well. I feel it's more satisfying knowing that I've gained something from my classes.
Obviously the degree is kind of a given, working towards the degree, towards jobs afterwards.
A lot of it is wanting to do something with my life. I also pay a lot of money to go to the school, so I think I really want to make the most out of that.
Yeah, the only thing what gets me out of bed is just thinking to myself, my future me is gonna thank me so much for doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah. After that, it's almost easy.
So I just look at myself and I'm how can I improve?
That's so cool.
Everybody tells me their problems. I don't really mind, I don't stop.
Apparently this is the LinkedIn spot, so that's what they're doing.
Instant LinkedIn photo.
Wait, that is In your time here at college, have there been any pet peeves that you've encountered? Some people talk about dining hall food, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, our dining hall food sucks.
It's like very expensive to be on a meal plan, and then it's like not very good. I feel like because it is a tech school, like most people are like tech oriented, which is nice, but also sometimes I wish like maybe I would have met people with more diverse interests.
Pet peeves, I don't know. Nothing comes to mind immediately. You know, the early classes can be a bit of a drag, but that's a pretty common one in college, I'd say.
If people aren't the most efficient, like if they say, oh, I'm going to show up at this time and they show up like 3 hours late, that's kind of annoying.
In classes, I think I don't like it when some people like take up the discussion the whole time, because I like hearing from everyone in the class. I'm in classes where it's small enough to where you should be able to hear from everyone.
Echo chamber?
Somebody once told me the world.
Same.
So far from the
I guess street laws don't apply here.
Can you see me now? See me now.
Oh my gosh.
When I fall back down.
There's like this certain vibe about it. Like I don't know, like have you guys watched what's that like Roly Poly Oly?
Yeah.
You know, it's literally Roly Poly Oly.
Always on my brain, think of you. Everything always fades away. And if we do the same, always remember days like
That is disturbing.
Banana Lounge is closed.
No! What building are we in right now?
This is building, I'm gonna say 7.
If you guys are ever fortunate enough to come and the Banana Lounge is open, check it out for me.
Building 26, sorry.
26. Gotcha.
Building 26, 1110.
Building 26.
1110.
Check out the Banana Lounge for me and have a nice banana. Let's say like back then you chose a different path, didn't come to MIT. Do you know where you would have went instead?
I think Stanford.
I would have either went to Duke University or Swarthmore College.
I think UCLA.
I almost committed to Columbia for engineering. I think I just really love the city, but then I kind of snapped out of it.
I'm from North Carolina, so I definitely would have considered Duke, even though I'm a UNC fan.
Probably the UK.
Community college. I applied to 2 schools.
Yeah.
And the other school, it was a state school, UT Austin. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. They rejected me.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was before MIT accepted me, and I was really scared. I thought I wasn't going to college for a while.
That's awesome. I'm happy it worked out though.
Not awesome, bro. That was
Well, like, see where it led you, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, look, I don't want to be spying, but do you see that guy's laptop? He's like working vertically. Like, I don't get how that laptop is standing up. Crazy. They're built different. MIT students are built different. This can be a bit of a loaded question, so feel free to take a minute to think. What is your dream in life? It could be work related, it could be non-work related.
That's a huge question.
Might need a minute.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Okay, no worries.
And this is going to sound really corny, so I apologize in advance. A lot of the times people pursue certain goals because they think that will bring them happiness, and they ultimately lose what happiness actually means to them in the process. And spending more time focusing on what gives me sustained dopamine rushes rather than what I think will give me a sustained dopamine rush.
Just be in a place where I'm doing something that I like and I'm surrounded by people that I love, and yeah.
So for me, I've always had like a lot of trouble like figuring out what I want to do. I've always bounced around in like material and majors and everything. So I think for me, it would just be finding a job that I get like really actually enjoy and that.
Not really. I'm just kind of living day by day right now.
What I strive to find in life is a sense of balance. I obviously am a pretty career-oriented person and I have high aspirations, but at the same time, I want to prioritize my hobbies. For example, I really love running, so I'm going to want to run a marathon at some point in my life.
I think the dream should vary as a person changes. So I don't think that there's like one specific dream. I think the goal is just to be happy, so you should do what you're enjoying in the moment and embrace that, because at least right now I'm only young once, so I want to live that up.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's lawn time.
Lawn time.
It's lawn time.
You said always if I stay, everything always fades away. And if we do the same, always remember days like a day when we say always.
U of T does have King Circle, but under a ton of construction. Ooh! Oh yeah.
You got to look at the diversity, equity, inclusion photo.
If you remember from your college essay, what's something memorable that you wrote about that you wouldn't mind sharing?
In high school, I used to be involved in a student newspaper. I was like a news managing editor for the papers, and so I wrote about my experience putting together a freshman issue, and I wrote about how that made me feel connected to my community.
There's this one essay prompt about like something that you do for fun, and I wrote about slime. Like I had a slime account in like early high school. MIT has like kind of different essays from other schools. I think like there are some that are a bit more fun. So one of them was about like talk about some part of your identity. My grandparents grew chives, like Chinese chives in our backyard, and like we harvested those and made dumplings with those, so I talked about that.
My family heritage. I talked about how my parents were Nigerian immigrants who moved here. Just like how that sort of affected my upbringing.
I talked a lot about my background and like my transition from coming from a different country to here.
I wrote about restoring like an old pickup truck with my brother. It was pretty special to me because it was kind of a COVID activity, so we didn't really have any history with that, but we picked it up when there was not much else to do, and it was kind of a good way to get closer to him, and we learned a lot of stuff doing that.
What's the place called?
And coffee. This Clover.
Clover.
Founded by MIT, 2006.
Founded by MIT.
So Clover is like a food chain here, here in Cambridge, Boston, and yeah, it's a vegan food chain. Food right here.
This is good. Okay. Okay, the sandwich, I agree, it's like really spongy.
It's like a breakfast sandwich. It's like an egg. It's like an egg.
Okay, maybe just because like I'm not super into vegan food. But this vanilla soda,
wait,
like a 9 out of 10.
Tastes like soft serve and
no.
Yeah, it's like soft serve melted into a soda. Is there anything that you wish you knew before coming to college? Any life hacks or something that could have helped you transition into college?
Having a nice hobby that you can really spend time on and kind of channel energy to, so that you're not always working. I think having some kind of hobby that's helpful and therapeutic.
Nothing really matters in the sense that very often you have to score your shoulders, and if something doesn't go well, it's not that bad. That some things aren't really that important. If something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world. So just to learn to say no big deal.
That it's okay to take melatonin gummies once in a while if you need to sleep. My freshman year, I was so sleepless, 9 out of 10 nights, and I just pop one gummy. It's like a treat, and I'm knocked out, and I wake up so refreshed. Not that I'm advocating for melatonin gummy addiction, because I've also heard that's a real thing.
I think definitely home training. I've seen some crazy stuff in the laundry room that people have done. Like some people have taken like Tide Pods and stabbed them and tried to like squeeze it into the compartment, and that's a little horrifying, honestly.
But no, like, I'm still kind of thinking about that first question, and like, I'm still like.
So I guess we're heading to like the main part of campus now. I don't know what that means, but is it cool? I'm guessing it's cool.
It's where everyone takes photos and goes for tourism.
Through these doors will be life changing.
Will I hear you often?
My life has not changed.
You said always if I stay in your head every day, always on my brain.
I don't want people getting mad at me, but I like the architecture in MIT a lot better than Harvard. It's so bright. It's like definitely a lot more modern. I think if I ever had to live in either of the two, definitely choose MIT. That wraps up my day in Cambridge. In particular, wraps up my journey in MIT. It was actually really interesting. I did notice there were some differences between the responses I got from Harvard students and the responses I got from MIT students. Some things that stuck out. One thing that one of the dudes said about what gets him going every day, do it for your future self, because your future self is going to thank you so much. I think that was something really cool that I've never heard of. Something else that was really cool, I found that girl who was watching Elliot Choi. But yeah, like honestly what interested me the most was hearing a lot of similarities between the people's answers here and the people I interviewed back at U of T in Canada. Really just goes to show, like across the border, everyone's kind of going through the same thing. Students are struggling everywhere, whether it be with like excessive workloads, with motivation problems. In a strange way, I found a bit of comfort in that, just knowing like, okay, it's not just us. But yeah, that wraps up the entire saga. If you guys haven't watched the Harvard video, I would recommend that. Yeah. Why does this keep happening? Every time I end like this. Okay. Whatever. I don't need an outro. I'll see you guys later.
Always, if I stay in your head every day, always on my brain, think of you, everything always.
I'm literally trapped inside of MIT right now, because every door you need like a fob to get in, which makes sense, I guess. Like, maybe I shouldn't be